I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation. 50 years ago, a great American, in whose symbolic shadow we stand, signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of captivity.
We must face the tragic fact that the Negro is still not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty in the midst of a vast ocean of material prosperity. 100 years later, the Negro is still languishing in the corner of American society and finds himself in exile.
There are those who are asking the devotees of the civil rights, when will you be satisfied? We can never be satisfied. As long as the Negro is the victim of the unspeakable horrors of police brutality, we can never be satisfied. As long as their bodies, heavy with fatigue of travel, cannot gain lodging in the motels of the highways and the hotels of the cities, we cannot be satisfied. As long as the Negro's basic mobility is from a smaller ghetto to a larger one, can never be satisfied. As long as their children are stripped of their selfhood and robbed of their dignity by signs stating "for whites only." We cannot be satisfied, and we will not be satisfied as long as the Negro in Mississippi cannot vote, and the Negro in New York believes he has nothing for which to vote. No, we're not satisfied, and we will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters in righteousness, like a mighty stream.
I am not unmindful that some of you have come here out of great trials and tribulations. Some of you have come here fresh from narrow jail cells. Some of you have come from areas where your quest for freedom left you battered by the storms of persecution and staggered by the winds of police brutality. You have all been the veterans of creative suffering. Continue to work with the faith that unearned suffering is redemptive.
Go back to Mississippi. Go back to Alabama. Go back to Louisiana. Go back to Georgia. Go back to the slums and ghettos of our northern states, knowing that somehow this situation can and will be changed.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal.
I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at a table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even in the state of Mississippi, a desert state sweltering in the heart of injustice and oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice.
I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day, down in Alabama, with its vicious racist, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interpulsion and nullification, one day right there in Alabama, little black boys and little black girls will be able to join hands with the little white boys and the little white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is the faith I will go back to the South with. With this faith we will be able to hew out the mountain of despair and the stone of hope.
With this faith, we will be able to transform the jailing discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up to freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day. This will be the day that all of God's children will be able to sing with a new meaning. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thy I sing, land where my father died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountain side, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. And so let freedom ring from the prejudiced hilltops of New Hampshire. Let freedom ring from the mighty mountains of New York. Let freedom ring from the hiding Alleghenies of Pennsylvania. Let freedom ring from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado. Let freedom ring from the curvaceous peaks of California. But not only that,
Let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and every molehill of Mississippi. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And when this happens, when we allow freedom to ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day, when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last.